Hey everybody, you're watching Cadroll Hunter, and today we're going to hunt $1,000 of Canadian $2 coins. And the burning question is it even possible to hunt a box of Toonies without finding a counterfeit, a fake Toonie? Stay tuned and we'll find out. Hey everybody, you're watching Cadroll Hunter, and it's hard to believe, but it has been over 4 years since I have hunted a box of Toonies and not found a counterfeit. In fact, in every box, I'm averaging 6 counterfeits. I don't think I've had less than 2, and I've had as many as 12, but that is just crazy. And so we're hoping that maybe this box might be different if we can finally end the glut of counterfeit fake Toonies. Almost all of them I found have been the camel toe variety. I found a couple of older ones. They're the Montreal mint variety. Some of the details are a little bit subdued. The rims are a little flatter and wider. I haven't found one of the fake new Toonies that I featured in a recent video. You might remember Cody, one of my viewers, messaged me when he found an odd Toonie, and well, guess what? He found another one and he sent it to me. So this is the first time I've got it in hand. This is purporting to be a 2018. And when Cody found it, he thought it was a proof, and you can see why. The portrait of the queen there is kind of got that cameo frosted appearance. The polar bear too. But some odd things about it. One is that it's got a fully reeded edge, and this coin is actually quite a bit thicker than a normal Toonie. And I've got another 2018 here just for comparison. This is what a 2018 Toonie should look like. And you'll see that it's thinner. It's got partially reeded edge, and it's got edge lettering that says $2 Canada. We don't see that on the fake. It's actually quite a bit wider. So you'll want to be on the lookout for this fake. Honestly, I was hoping I might find one of these. Of course, I was also hoping I might have just found one of the camel toes, but that wasn't to be the case. I just keep finding them over and over again. So thank you so much to Cody for sending me this other one that he found. That's great. Now I don't need to find one in here. In fact, we're hoping that we're going to get through a whole box without finding a fake. That would be a first in many years. That would be awesome. Maybe we'll just take a quick look at a couple of the features on here that are interesting, and maybe starting with the security devices. So this is actually pretty much overall a better fake than the camel toe in some respects. One is that it doesn't have that giveaway camel toe appearance that we see on the camel toe Toonies. And while the details are decent, they're not as fine as you would see on a real Toonie. Here is the fake. It's got a very mirror-like finish on the coin. It seems almost like a proof or a proof-like coin. But everything is actually pretty smooth here, and it's kind of lacking some of the detail. If I pull up the 2021, you'll see there's a lot more fine fur detail in here that we don't see, and ice and water detail that doesn't seem to be apparent. It's actually pretty rounded in there, and that might be a bit of a giveaway. As for the security features themselves, this is better than what we've seen in some other fakes. There's a maple leaf within a maple leaf. It looks a little rough if we compare it to the Royal Canadian Mint. This is much sharper in detail. That maple leaf in the middle is far more defined, and the edges are crisper compared to this guy. It's actually quite a bit bigger, and that maple leaf in the middle is not looking quite right. But another element of this that does look better is actually the details in the queen. This is far more close to the original than we would see on the camel toes, where some of the details are just a little off. This actually looks pretty good when we compare it to the real deal. Those details look very similar, and perhaps I'll put these up side by side so we can actually see how these compare, both the front and the back. But we won't take too much time to do that because we got $1,000 of Toonies we really want to get into to see if we can find anything cool. We'll start with roll number 1 here, and we're already going to get a find. There is a black ringed Toonie, so that's a good starting sign right there, and we're hoping that this first roll is going to give us some goodies as I make a mess all over there. And there is a pretty nice looking black ringed toonie. That is a beautiful coin from 2022. And that, of course, is commemorating the life of Queen Elizabeth II. This was issued just after her death. Roll number 2, there is a 2017 Dance of the Spirits non-color. It got some discoloration on it if you want to look at the color. We want to find one in nicer shape, of course, and we really want to find the glow-in-the-dark colorized version, which is one of my favorites of all time. And the very last coin in that roll is going to be a commemorative. This is a really nice looking 2018 Armistice. $2 Canada, a commemorative for Remembrance Day. Beautiful. Roll number 3, we're going to get our first colorized toonie. That is awesome. That's the 2024 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force. Beautiful. Love to find a beautiful colorized coin like that one. Well, unfortunately, it didn't take us long to answer the question I had at the outset, and that is, can we actually go a full box without finding a fake? Because here we are in roll number 3, and we're going to get that camel toe toonie. It says it's a 2007. We'll take a quick peek at this guy under the scope, and we can see that deformed paw, the so-called camel toe, which is the dead giveaway. And of course, if we flip it over, we'll see there is that 2007 date. The detail on the surface of the coin just looks off. It is, the whole surface looks almost like a matte finish. It's just not right. But we found our first of how many fakes? Well, we won't know until we get through all these rolls. Hopefully not too many. Roll number 4, we've got a 2002. This is a commemorative celebrating 50 years on the throne. And the variety we want to find is the dot in H. It is a die chip, a little circle right in the H of Elizabeth. We found that in our last hunt. They're out there. We didn't find it in this one, but one you want to look for. It's a cool one to find for sure. Same roll, there's another commemorative. It is the 2020 Victory. This is limited mintage, just 1 million minted in the non-color version. There's also a colorized variety of this particular coin. That's a cool one to find for sure. Another low mintage commemorative for the board. Roll 5, this looks like it's going to be another one of those 2017s, the Dance of the Spirits, but is it going to be the colorized version? I've never actually found it coin roll hunting, so I would love to make this the first time. And it's not. It is the non-colored version, but much nicer than the first one we found. I'll throw that one on the board. That is a cool find. You can see a couple of 1996s here. These are the most plentiful. This was the year that the toonie was introduced. It was replacing all of the $2 bills in circulation, and there are some varieties we want to look for on here. I've put one under the scope. I haven't looked at these guys yet. And we have found one of the varieties. We have found the polar bear smoking a cigar. It's just a little die chip here by the polar bear's mouth, and people took note of that one because it looks like he is smoking a cigar. In fact, he is not smoking a cigar. It's just damage on the die. This coin is pretty messed up, lots of scratches, but this is a very cool one to find. And even in condition like this, it's probably worth $10 because people want to find this. It's a very famous, well-known, and sought-after variety. So even in poor condition, and this one's got a bad rim ding, so it might be a bit less than that. But we found the polar bear smoking a cigar, and that is super cool. And speaking of super cool, we got a low mint one here. We got the RCAF 2024 non-colored. This is just limited to 1 million minted. We'll put this right by its colorized counterpart. That is pretty cool. We're just 6 rolls in, and so far this box is being really, really good. And I have just uncovered another colorized commemorative. This one here is the Jean-Paul Riopelle, just 2 million minted, 2023, that double date at the bottom honoring 70 years of her reign. So this was minted after her death and before they started putting the 2023 coins with Charles on them. We'll put this one up on the board up here, but I saw another double date. We're going to have another commemorative. What is this one going to be? It's going to be the same. We got 2 in one roll. We got 2 of the colorized Jean-Paul Riopelle. That is awesome. And that's not going to be it. Here is another commemorative. This is a 2024 with Charles on it. You'll see it says $2 on the obverse. It means we don't have a denomination on the reverse, which means it is a commemorative. And it is more color. It is the Nanangat. That is 3 color in this one roll. And we're going to have to make space on the board for this one here. We are already up to 4 colorized, 3 of them in just this roll. We may as well look and see if we're going to get anything else in here. There's a 1996 we want to scope. I scope every single one of them. I put it up there, and the 3 places I'm checking are the cigar, the no ice variety, and if we've got the die chip on the head that looks like the horn, you want to check every single 2016 for those, but we'll just, or sorry, every single 1996. We'll check the rest of these guys and see what we've got. We've got another commemorative. This is the non-colorized Riopel. This is the roll that keeps on giving. We'll just keep looking here. 2004, 2011. And I guess all good things must come to an end, just like that roll. But we got lots more rolls to go, and we've got lots of great finds already. Awesome. Roll number 10, the halfway point in the box, and we will certainly be getting a commemorative here because we can see the $2 on the bottom. The obverse is just a little bit different. And this is the low mid 2021 insulin. This is minted at just 1 million, and that is a great find. We will find a space on the board for it. I'm going to move the only one fake we got so far. Knock on coin roll hunting, Matt. Hopefully we don't find any more, but I'll set him aside. But we got another low mint commemorative. Roll number 12, and there is our second low mintage victory 2020. We'll put it up there with his buddy. Well, and there is our second camel toe. You can just tell the look is totally wrong. This one here is a 2006. We'll throw that up there in the row of shame with its 2007 buddy. Roll number 13 is going to make it 3 2020 non-color victories. Roll 14 is going to give us a pretty nice looking old generation. It's got a little bit of coin rolling machine damage. We would call that the ring of death. It's a 2005. We just don't often find them this nice. I have better and without damage, so I'm not going to keep it. But if I found any of the other years without that ring of death damage in this kind of condition, I might certainly want to check my album to see if this will upgrade. Same roll, just a little further back, and I just flipped over this 2024, and look at that. We've got our second RCAF colorized in the box. Very last coin of this roll, and we're going to get a low mintage old design here. This is the what we call the old generation 2012. The date's at the top of the obverse, and it just says Canada $2. And you see this is not including any of those security features. The etched in maple leaves aren't present. So that is the old generation. This is actually in pretty good condition, but that is a very low mintage find. Sweet. Just pulled out roll number 15, and we're going to get another one of those black ringed Toonies. We can see it by the edge obviously pretty clearly, but it's a very striking coin. This one pretty circulated, but it's our second. We'll count that as a find for the board, and we've got lots of stuff we have found so far. So we're in roll 20, the very last roll, but we are not going to be shut out in this roll, not at all. Check it out. We have our 2020 victory in color. We got 3 of the non-color, and this one here is our first colorized version of this coin. So we got a goodie in the very last roll. Is it possible to get any more goodies? If we do, I'll bring you back. If not, we'll take a peek at everything we got in this awesome box. So that was an awesome hunt. We got 6 colorized Toonies. Very, very cool, but we found lots of cool stuff. Starting out, we got a nice 2017 Dance of the Spirits. There is the non-color Armistice. We got the colorized Victory from 2020 and 3 non-colorized, just 1 million each of those. A low mint 2021 Insulin non-color. We got a few of the Black Ring Toonie, 2 colorized Jean-Paul Riopel, 1 non-color, all looking beautiful. The colorized Nunangat, 2 colorized RCAF, and the non-color version of that. All the way over here, we only found 2 of the fake camel toe Toonies, 2007 and 2006. Could have been much, much worse. Our 2 cool finds that we got here, of course, we got that 2012 low mint old generation without the security features. And I think our coolest find of the hunt was the 1996 polar bear smoking a cigar. A really cool die variety you want to look out for. Well, I really appreciate you guys watching. Smash that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Cadroll Hunter, go ahead and hit that button. Subscribe so you know when my new videos come out. I've got new videos coming out all the time. Sometimes it's about coin roll hunting, sometimes it's about coin collecting. If it's about coins, I'm probably going to cover it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.
The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.